James here from goodguitarist.com, and this is the F chord. We're also going to show you the little F chord because it's a little easier to play, because the regular F chord does have a bar in it, which means you have to put one finger across all 6 strings, and we'll talk more about that later. But for now, just in case that's a bit too difficult for you or for your hand, we can learn this little F chord, which has a little bar, but it's just a little one. Anyways, we're going to show you that, and we're also going to show you some things that you can focus on that'll help you make these chords sound even better. Hopefully you're following along with our free ebook. You can find it at goodguitarist.com. There's a link to that and a bunch of other stuff down below in the description. The ebook goes over the very basics of strumming and playing rhythm guitar. It's intended to help you build a solid foundation, and instead of avoiding the bad habits, we focus on making the good ones. To play this chord, the low E string will be omitted. We will ignore this string. The A string will also be omitted. We will ignore this string as well. On the D string, we'll take our 3rd finger and place it on the 3rd fret. On the G string, we'll take our 2nd finger and place it on the 2nd fret. We're going to do these last 2 strings together because we're going to be using one finger to press both strings down. So take your 1st finger and place it over the 1st fret on both strings. You'll need to flatten your finger a bit more so it can cover both strings. This is called barring, and it might take a bit of extra practice, so keep at it. For the little F chord, we strum these 4 strings. We're ignoring the low E and A strings. So let's try it out. We're going to strum the guitar like this. Just relax and get a feel for the chord. Now we're going to do a clarity test to make sure the chord is ringing out properly. We do this by holding the chord as best we can and then plucking each string one at a time to see if they're all doing their job. That was great. And don't worry if your chord doesn't sound perfect yet. If it sounds more like this, there are 4 common problems that we can take into consideration. Finger placement, or how close to the fret or far from the fret you're pressing down. Finger pressure, which is how hard you're pressing down. Thumb placement, which means positioning your thumb properly to help support your fingers better. And finally, how curved or arched your fingers are. As a beginning guitarist, making your chords sound clear is one of the most important skills to develop. If you're on our site following along with the ebook, you'll find this information on pages 5 and 6. We recommend practicing that until you feel comfortable with at least a few of the chord shapes. To play this chord, place your 1st finger across the 1st fret on all 6 strings. On the A string, we'll take our 3rd finger and place it on the 3rd fret. On the D string, we'll take our 4th finger and place it on the 3rd fret. On the G string, we'll take our 2nd finger and place it on the 2nd fret. The remaining 2 strings should already be held down securely at the 1st fret by your 1st finger. For the F bar chord, we strum all 6 strings. So let's try it out. We're going to strum the guitar like this. Don't worry if it's not perfect yet. We can work on that soon. Now we're going to do a clarity test to make sure the chord is ringing out properly. We do this by holding the chord as best we can and then plucking each string one at a time to see if they're all doing their job. that's it for the F chord. But if you want to take it a step further, here's something to consider. Both the F and the little f chords have a bar in them. That's when you're holding down multiple strings with one finger. And when you're barring, some people, especially at the beginning, have a tendency to push way too hard or to overcompensate. So for instance, if I'm trying to get this chord, I might be pushing way too hard with these fingers too, you know? And that's not really necessary because they're already fine. We want to put the pressure in the exact right spots. So when you're barring, be very aware of the balance of your hand and where you're putting the pressure. Test each string individually. See which ones aren't working. See which ones you're maybe pressing too hard. It's not only about how strong you are. There's a really big element of finesse when it comes to this. So really take your time and find what works with your hands, with your guitar, and with whatever you like to do with music. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe, check out our website, and visit us on social media. We'll see you next time.